Hi, I'm Brian. Kettle's on, make yourself a cup of tea. Today I want to talk about the new Bill and Ted trailer that was released. I've got to say, I originally had reservations when Bill and Ted 3 was announced, as Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was released almost 30 years ago, back in 1991. But after this trailer, any reservations I had have completely gone. It looks fantastic. Right from the opening joke of the trailer.
When your wives suggested couples therapy, do you think that this is what they had in mind?
Definitely. I mean, we're a couple of couples, right?
I mean, once that joke started, I could see where it was going, but it still had me laughing. I mean, it looks just like you'd expect Bill and Ted to look. They've not tried updating it for a modern audience. I mean, this film is aimed at the fans of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which I'm glad about. The humour looks the same, and it's essentially pretty much a similar story to the other two films. Bill and Ted are going through time, trying to fix something. In this case, they are trying to write the song which unites the world and brings about peace, which has been the theme from the other two movies. And this time it looks like while they're doing that, their daughters are helping them by going around collecting musicians. Now, I do think that in this film it's going to turn out to be the daughters that write the song that is, and Bill and Ted will play it, getting the credit and saving the world. As previously stated in the previous two films, it is their song and their music that saves the world and unites it in peace. Like I've previously said, they haven't tried updating it for a newer audience. They have kept it the same as the previous two films, appealing to the old audience, similar to Ghostbusters Afterlife, whereas Ghostbusters 2016 tried to appeal to a whole new audience to the Ghostbusters franchise had. Ghostbusters Afterlife has catered for the fans of the franchise. It looks like Bill and Ted has done exactly the same thing. They know the fans are there, they've wanted a sequel to Bogus Journey and Excellent Adventure for a long time, and they've given it, and they don't want to give them something they're not expecting. Yes, it's up to date, it is 30 years later after the Bogus Journey, so they've got to change things. They can't just pretend it's like a few years later. That wouldn't make sense. Both actors, Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters, have aged, so they've got to age it with that, which is why they've now got daughters in the film. But I love that they've done the daughters so that they do take after the dads, Bill and Ted, rather than being more grown up and level headed like the mothers are. I mean, you watch the daughters in this and it is like watching Bill and Ted act in the first two films. So I do think for how successful this film will be, if it is successful, that is, that they could do one of two things. They will give us another sequel with Bill and Ted as the main roles and bring more of the daughters into it, or they could give us a sequel or spin-off focusing on their daughters. That is just my thought on it. I mean, what comes after this, Bill and Ted 3, will ultimately down to how successful it is. I love that they've got William Sadler back as Death. He was fantastic in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, and he looks like he's going to be just as good in this one for the clip what he is seen in. I love that Bill's dad is in the van with Death at one point. I don't know what's happened there, but I can't wait to find out when the film does come out. Now, speaking of the film coming out, it is going to be released in America on the 1st of September, on both in cinemas and on video on demand. Now, during the pandemic, I know a few films have been released on video on demand while the cinemas have been closed, but Bill and Ted is doing it both in cinemas and on demand for those people that don't feel safe going to the cinema at the moment. Now, I don't know if a similar thing will happen over here in the UK when it does come out. I'm not even sure when the release for the UK release is. I do hope it is somewhere similar to America, as I can't wait to watch this film. I mean, that's my thought on the trailer. It looks fantastic. Looks like Bill and Ted films should be. They've not tried to change anything. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts on the trailer are. Are you excited for the film coming out? And that's all from me. I'll have to make a fresh cup of tea.